This is a video on making imitation pin tucks using decorative thread. I'm using the Decora Madeira number 6, and you can see it's quite a thick thread. So I'm actually going to use a thread cradle to thread up my machine. I have the thread sitting on my table. I don't put it on the spool pin because it falls down and gets caught. So I just stand it on my table and I watch it carefully. Then I'm going to take a long piece of cotton and fold it in half, so the folded edge is here and the cut ends here. I'm going to set my machine for threading. Connected my tubes. Then I'm going to put the cut ends of my thread cradle into the upper looper hole. And there they are, they've come out here. And now all I'm going to do is take my thread, which, as I say, I thread it from the table up through the upper arm into the lock at the back and down under the metal clip here. And now I'm threading it into the tubes. It will go in this way, but it is quite thick. So if you have a problem, let me show you another way to do it. Again, take the thread ends, thread them into the upper looper hole. It's coming out the upper looper. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bypass this hole. So I'm going to open up my tubes and I'm looking for my upper looper thread, which is at the back. And I know it's that one because it's black and I can see it. And see, I'm pulling it out of the tube. So now I'm going to thread it, threading my thicker thread into this cradle. Doesn't need as much as that, and pull it through, and you'll see that it's threaded in. Now you can put it under these guides here that come with the Ovation. The Evolution doesn't have that, so I didn't put it under. It'll make no difference. Right, and that's threaded and ready to go. Right, I'm threaded for a 3-thread rolled hem or rolled edge, and I have my stitch length on 3 because I'm using a really thick yarn, and I've got my width on 5. I'm using the O2 needle, and it's as wide as it will go because I want a pretty pin tuck. I've got a folded edge here. I pressed it so that it'll stay nice and flat, and I'm using the lace attachment. And this guide moves, so you need to experiment where you want it. You can loosen the screw and move it. I already know that this is the thickness I want, so I'm quite happy with it. So all I'm going to do is take my folded edge and put it against this guide. I'm going to feed it under my foot so that it's close to the needles. Put my foot down. And the one word of warning when you're using really thick thread in the looper, there's 2 places it could give you a problem. One is it could get caught with your threads that are feeding off your spools, because as I say, I stand my decorative thread on the table, so watch for that. And the other thing is that you have to keep up a constant speed. Don't stop and go, because with the thick thread it causes problems. You miss stitches. So using this as a guide, keeping my fabric right against the guide, it just all looks after itself. I'm not going very fast, just nice and even. And there you have a nice imitation piping. Using the thicker thread, it stands up nice and firm. And remember always to do it the same side if you're doing a row of them, because there's a right side and a wrong side.